Hello, Carolyn Herfurth, business development strategist and founder of The Biz Truth. Welcome back to our conversation about PIMPS. So, in the first video, we talked about purpose. Being disconnected from purpose is one of the reasons or culprits for you not liking to sell. The second reason is influences from your parents, from media, from friends, from all sorts of things that build messages and build a story about what selling is or what selling isn't for you. Today we're going to talk about reason number 3. It truly is the most insidious of reasons, and that is M for manipulation. So if you have ever bought something that you later regretted and you felt like you were manipulated into buying that item or that service, that is a huge reason people don't like to sell. Because here's the scenario. You were tricked, basically. And so if that's your model for what selling is, you might equate selling your service to someone as you having to trick them into buying from you or having to manipulate them in order to buy something from you. So selling equals manipulation. Manipulation equals selling. And this actually happened with a client of mine. I think about 2 years ago, we started doing some private work together, and she was really resistant to this whole idea of selling. I'm like, I'm sorry, but if you're in business, you're in sales, we got to get past this. You know, you're not making any money right now. And business development is the name of the game. And so doing some digging, there was some selling story involved in this as well, if you go back to influences. But what had happened is she had bought a pretty large services package from a sales coach at one time. And when she got to the selling seminar, the sales guy, the facilitator, explained what he had done to manipulate them into coming that weekend. So all of a sudden that didn't feel very good. And now I know why all y'all have like this, you're scared of sales, trainers like myself. You think that we're all alike. Potentially. That may not be your story, but that was her story. And she was afraid that if she had a sales conversation with someone, it would mean she is also a manipulator. And she didn't want that to happen. As soon as we cracked that, the selling story, and that it had to do with this manipulation, and that was her model for selling, we were able to wipe that slate clean and say, if he wants to sell through manipulation, that's fine, but there's a better way. And so we worked on the better way, which in my case is teaching people the art of the ask. And immediately she started getting sales, and she had just had this incredible dry spell, and it just started popping for her, and it continued to pop for her. So that, I don't blame you if you've been manipulated and that's what you think is the model for how selling needs to be done. I just want you to rest easy. You don't have to, but what I want you to do between now and the next video, when we talk about what the second P is in PIMPS, the fourth reason that you may or may not like to sell, I want you to think about things that you've bought in the past or moments where you have felt manipulated, and just go back and say, how was that done? How did that process work? And just realize that it doesn't have to be done that way. That's a pretty easy one to break, especially if you replace it with an approach that works for you. So there's your M. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with reason number 4.